Sonic spin-off games. They're either complete dog shit or really good. And as someone who really likes a lot of these games, even the ones that aren't that great, there's a variety of these that have been released. From racing games to a racing game, but on foot, to puzzle games, and even a party game. At one point, these games were being pumped out pretty frequently, but Sega has really slowed down on them in recent times. And it got me thinking about what I'd personally want out of these types of games if we do get more of them. So today, we're going over the types of Sonic spin-offs I'd personally want and what could be included to make them unique. A type of spin-off I'd really want, but would most definitely be skeptical of it even being remotely good, would be a new Sonic RPG. The last one we got was Sonic Chronicles, and that was certainly a game.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
But I do genuinely think that if there is any platformer out there that would be able to pull off an RPG, it'd be Sonic. I really don't know how they'd approach a game like this though. Would they outsource it to another company, or would Sonic Team make it themselves? I feel like it's one of those things that's very hard to choose, especially for a Sonic RPG. But something like Mario and Luigi, or even a game in the style of Triangle Strategy, would be enough to make me happy. And I feel like soundtracks for RPGs are typically amazing, so I can only imagine what a new OST, and an actually good one, would sound like. I don't know how many people can relate to this sentiment, but I'd personally really like it if Sonic Team were to make more spin-off games for the side characters. Something along the lines of Shadow Gens. I loved Shadow Gens, but if we're not gonna get the side characters like Silver, Knuckles, or even Tails in the mainline games, I'd personally really like games for just these characters. They don't even have to be boost games. I could only imagine getting something like a Knuckles beat 'em up, or even an open world Silver game, or as a huge fan of Puyo Puyo, I'd even take a new Eggman's Mean Bean Machine game. Just give me anything that takes the spotlight away from Sonic for just a second, and let's let the side characters shine for a bit, because that'd be great. And I do feel like we haven't really got much like that recently, but the crumbs of it we have gotten recently have been pretty good. That being Shadow Gens and Update 3 for Sonic Frontiers, which have been great, and I'd personally want more like that. This next type of spinoff I'd want, and the one I'd want the most, are honestly interchangeable depending on my mood, but I know everyone wants this type of spinoff, that being a Sonic fighting game. And no, not like that one.
Know your fucking place, trash.
But an actual one. Can you imagine if we got a fighting game made by Arc System Works on the same level as Dragon Ball FighterZ? Oh my god! Every Sonic fan, including me, would go crazy. And Sonic is meant to have a fighting game of his own. Look at the sauce this man has. And I know Arc Sys would absolutely cook. So what are you waiting for, man? Come on, give us it. There's a fan game that's actually a Sonic fighting game called Sonic Smackdown. And for what it is, it's pretty solid. And playing it made me just want an official game like this so bad. So Sega, if you're watching the YouTuber with 80 subs, do me a personal favor and make the fighting game, please. As of me writing this video, Sega has actually trademarked something called Sonic Blitz, so maybe it's a fighting game? Or maybe it's just another mobile game, which if that's the case, I'll just go kill myself then. So come on Sega, give what I and many others want, please. And my most wanted Sonic spinoff that I hope happens would be a new Sonic crossover racer. We got Team Sonic Racing a decent bit ago, which in my opinion pales in comparison compared to the best racing game of all time, in my opinion. That being Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. I love everything about this game, like the character selection, having such amazing picks as Sonic, Beat, Knight, Alex Kidd, Team Fortress, Wreck-It Ralph, and the best of them, the cream of the crop, Danica Patrick. Amazing. That's my favorite Sega character. I just love having a game that celebrates all of Sega, and I guess you could say that this technically isn't a Sonic spinoff, but almost half of the characters are Sonic, so I'm gonna count it. And if they really do decide to stick with just Sonic characters for the future games, my only request would be to include characters from all forms of Sonic media. Give me Movie Sonic, Prime Sonic, or even the IDW characters. The characters we could get from just mainline games could be cool, but I do feel like there are only a few big characters left that they could add that would be genuinely exciting. But I think the most important thing for this game is just for it to be fun and fast-paced. Sonic Transformed does this amazingly, which is why I love it. And from what I've heard, TSR doesn't really come anywhere near this game and is more team-oriented for some reason. I'm not trying to say to completely abandon the whole TSR format or copy Scarrr word for word, bar for bar, but I love it a lot for a good reason. I need someone to let me know how good the single player mode is for TSR, but I'd love it if the next game's single player is as good as Scarrr's. And as someone who has no friends even slightly wanting to try out something that isn't Mario Kart, I'm glad the single player is great, and I hope this quality carries over to the newest Sonic racing game. Because although there was no actual story at all in Scarrr, it had a lot of variation to its single player. And although another game like Scarrr would be cool, another type of racing spin-off I'd personally want is another game like Sonic R. I know a lot of people don't particularly love this game, but to be honest, I love it. Is it good? No, not at all. But the vibe, music, graphics, and even the unique concept of having a racing game be on foot instead of a car or a cart is so cool to me, and I'd really like it if Sega gave this formula another shot in the current day. My biggest complaint with Sonic R is that the controls are really slippery, but they could easily fix that, so I think it could be potentially good. And I personally really love these models used in Sonic R, so if they do try to recreate these type of models for a new one, I'd be all over it. They actually managed to do that with the skin in the new Sonic Gens remaster, so getting a whole new game that looks like this, if done right, could be really cool and unique. I can't really think of any other types of Sonic spin-offs I'd personally want besides the ones I've already talked about. So let me know if there's any I missed that you guys would personally want, because we used to get these types of games all the time. But I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of traumatized by the great Sonic drought of the 2010s, where we got almost no mainline games, let alone spin-offs, except for that one. So if we get less spin-offs, but they're of actual good quality, I'll take it. But that's all from me for this video. If you watched this far, thank you for watching, and consider subbing if you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.